recently, I think, is a safe thing
That's
to say.
that's a good way to describe it. Yeah.
We'll talk more about his infamy in a moment. Let's get these intros out of the way. Spawning here in the bottom left corner of the map, playing for Invasion Gaming, it's the blue turn, Gumiho. Oh wait, no, is it Invasion Esports? I think it's Invasion Esports, not gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll let Zombie Grub Catwoman do this.
In the upper right as the red Zerg. It's true.
Well, she just agreed with your statement of calling her a Catwoman.
No.
It's like her theme. What the fuck?
All right, guys, this is the OlimoLeague, rather. Sorry, as I stutter past that word. It's the semifinals. We got Minus Kane here for that awesome Zerg expert analysis between goofy antics and, of course, Zombie Grub, who has recently woken up. Oh, pardon me. I mean, coming back from his volunteer job to join us here on the cast. So awkward, awesome TriCast time. Engage.
You know,
wait. Where do you live, Zombie Grub?
Virginia.
On a high horse.
What time is it there?
9:30.
So how long were you volunteering for? Like half an hour this morning, or what?
For like an hour.
Oh, what kind of volunteering is that? I did more volunteering.
It's like her casting, the bare minimum. Oh. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm taking shots. There's no reason for
Yeah,
me
I
to
really
do
don't
that.
know why. Like, you were the dick today. What's the big deal?
All right, so
Like-
we get into the semifinals. We'll mention a little bit more about Gumiho and Kane. From the perspective of a Zerg player, what are your thoughts on Gumiho?
His playstyle is like smart, very, very smart, but it's very boring and doesn't take a lot of skill. No, I'm just kidding. It does, but I think from the outside it's easy for players to look at like turtleneck style and say it doesn't take a lot of skill. But I think on the inside that there's a lot more that Terran needs to do than people think that they do. So I would say that his playstyle is like very frustrating to play against, but it's smart and it's I think the best way for Terran to play right now.
Well, I mean, Zombie, you and I have seen a lot of this firsthand. I mean, I think frustration is the first word I think about, but with the map pool being the dream pool and not the typical big macro maps we've seen with Deadwing and Overgrowth, what do you think about Gumiho actually playing mech in this series?
I still think it's viable. Like, Cloud Kingdom, as I recall, it wasn't the worst to get to that fourth base, which is usually the one that Gumiho is going to now. And we did see some mech maps on it. I don't know about the other maps though. Like, there's Akalon, right?
Akalon, Daybreak. I mean, those two right off of the bat.
Yeah, Daybreak. Yeah, is also a good mech map. And I guess Cloud Kingdom would be like the third, like, one that you could go in on. Like, 'cause I can't remember the other ones.
Shakur's Plateau and Ohana.
Yeah, Shakur's Plateau. Fourth is awkward, and Ohana. The fourth is okay with Ohana, I suppose. So this is all about getting to the fourth, right? So we get the fucking battlecruisers.
No need for profanity, Zombie Grub. Let's keep things clean for our younger viewers, okay?
Oh, okay, Kane.
Catwoman doesn't need to swear.
Sorry. Depends what comic she's in, I guess.
Ooh, she was a comic and not cartoon. The refined palette of Zombie Grub. Me, of course, I'm just thinking of like the original Batman from like, early 2000s, late 90s. Like, oh man. Good times growing up.
This game we did see a 15 pool, 15 gas come out from True, so same build as last game. So it could be that 3 gas Mutalisk again.
Okay, like all jokes aside about that Mutalisk build, it was a weirder way to get to it, but I mean, it still got the job done. The Lings aside, we counted as lucky. The Overlord joke put to the side for a moment. I mean, he got damage done with the Mutalisks. It was only like 8 of them, but they still got a lot of SCV kills.
It's true. And early layer coming out, so it could very well be 3 gas Mutalisk. I can't really say that with a straight face because I know it's such a funny build.
Yeah. For those who don't know why we're making jokes that maybe you're new to StarCraft, you normally have 4 gases, like always. Not sometimes, but always. And True is like one of the most talented Zerg players we could think of. To see him make a small mistake like that is actually kind of funny. Not in a rude way, just kind of like, wow, he actually did that.
But I wonder if it was a mistake or not. Like, if he does the same thing in this game, we can definitely say it's not a mistake,
Yeah.
And
does he even go for it? He's still, that layer's finishing up in a second. He takes that 3rd gas, no 4th one, so we'll call this the True build, the True Muna build, I guess.
This is the funniest thing.
Build.
True is such a unique player too. He always does weird things like this. but he doesn't even have enough gas for a Spire at this point. Like, he's he's still quite a far ways off there.
I feel like despite the fact that he goes for the faster layer, though, like a lot of the, I guess, paranoia we can call it, is kind of set on the fact that you're waiting for that Terran all-in. You're waiting for the Hellbats, you're waiting for the Marines, you're waiting for the Banshee. I mean, the common factors that are part of this, I guess, metagame where Terran players are pushing a lot more lately.
And we do see medevac coming out from True here loaded with Marines, so it could be like a Hellion run-by, or he could elevate those into the main.
Some cool news, by the way, guys. Sorry, Alicia actually took center out 2-1, so we'll be casting Alicia after this in the other semifinal. So Axiom's still fighting here in the OlimoLeague.
Oh god, that's a really good spot. The banelings aren't morphed yet.
That is a disgustingly good spot. Those Marines. He actually, if you wanted to micro a little bit, I don't think he'd lose a single one of these, but just kind of
in the natural.
Yeah.
The natural, a lot of drones going down.
Yeah, he's managed to slip by. They're looking for those drone kills that were pulled. Oh, realizing at the last second he needs a split. True gonna take some damage. Oh, 16 drones down for this attack. The Banelings still haven't gotten to detonate. He's gonna focus these down as he continues to run. The Hellions will get cleaned up, but oh my god, that attack out of Gumiho.
And of course behind this is going for an armory, so.
What does this mean, Zombie Grub?
Mech it is. And he's probably gonna do that really like awkward Hellbat push. You know, we were casting, wait, was this? No, it was actually Yoda who was doing it, but I think he's gonna do it too. Where he just like gets as many freaking like Hellions as possible, like 12, and then attacks like on an oddly timed Hellbat attack.
Yeah, it's, I'd say unnecessary though. I mean, like he did get so much damage from that first attack, but you know, True did go for mutas. This was, I believe, scouted. Let me confirm that. Yeah, he did scout this. Gumiho, that is. So if he does play mech to do this, do that push might be a little bit too crazy. I think. Yeah, Thor comes out right away. He knows what's up.
He's not even trying to get any more aliens. Well, for now, anyways. The thing is that True, I guess, you know, he doesn't have enough money. He doesn't have enough gas. It would only be like 4 mutas.
Yeah, I mean, he's not on his third yet. That's a big detriment to any Zerg. But even if you do open 2 base muta, you still take that third fairly quickly. But, you know, a lot of this is offset by the fact that he doesn't have a lot of money to spend. He had to rebuild so many drones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Viking production is definitely getting pumped out right now. It's really funny. I mean, Vikings are, I think for a long time, we were just like, you'd never see these versus Mutalisk. It was so bad, it was laughable at best. Turrets and Thors would always be way better, but with the way Gumiho plays, Vikings actually like his playstyle, but we actually only see 1 armory down, so I wonder if he's even thinking that much about the air.
Yeah, I do wonder about that. Again, we like talked about it yesterday. Like 1 armory seems to mean that he's gonna try and do that push that kills someone before they can tech swap completely. It's like when they only have like 4 swarm hosts, or they only have like 10 mutas, as opposed to going for the super passive. Let me just macro and get the battle cruisers, where that's the double armory.
Okay, what do you think about this push, man? What does True do to not die here?
I don't know about this. Like, at least that there's a lot of Vikings, so it means that there's not as much ground. But he can just land those Vikings and then becomes ground. Yeah.
The alternative too is he could actually kill all the overlords. Gumiho has actually been quite known for this in tournaments we've been casting him in. I think he killed like something like 18 plus overlords of lives one time on Deadwing. It was so nasty watching that supply block. The mutas did go for a counterattack. I mean, this wasn't a terrible idea. I think he knew he couldn't fight at home, so he tries to maybe draw the attention of Gumiho away, but this is driven off pretty easily.
That's sad. 2 Vikings stop the muta counterattack?
Well, I mean, there's the base of a Thor and a turret too, but speaking of Thors, this one gets across the map. Thor is here! And the natural base has got nothing to stop. He's going to go for maybe a focus fire on the hatchery. Runs behind the mineral line because he doesn't want Zerglings. He knows Zerglings are coming, but he's too fat to fit in there.
Yeah, this Thor will go down, I think. Yeah.
These Vikings still doing a ton of damage. I mean, they killed a good chunk of what was on the ground. The Queen fell as well, and the kind of camp and Mutalist production. This is the most awkward push I've ever seen out of any mech player, but I mean, it got the job done. It got kills.
Gumiho is doing this, like, if he's not doing, like, his stupid, like, 2 armory, like, battle thing, he's, like, doing these weird Hellbats, like, Thor pushes that just seems oddly timed, and sometimes really don't work out, and sometimes work out amazingly. Now, this is a good counterattack.
It was Yoda we saw doing the Thor drop, so we definitely love to see if Gumiho could incorporate.
Was it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure during the Korean qualifiers, right?
I honestly can't remember.
We cast like 12 games of Yoda in a row. It wasn't Gumiho.
I thought no, but it was on Akalon, and we never used the Dream Pool.
You might be right then. I'm probably thinking about the OlimoLeague. So, ooh.
Yeah.
Anyways, bringing up the topic of the Thor drop, that was kind of the point of the conversation here, because it's something that we just don't see a lot of. It was really funny, but incredibly effective, because 2 Thors tear down a base faster than Marines and Marauders do. That's for certain.
We do see Swarmhouse coming out from True here, but he's on 2 base. He's on 4 gas. You're not going to be able to get too many Swarmhouse with that.
I definitely don't think the Swarmhouse is going to be the greatest answer, but if you buy enough time to get them in a number where they're, like, say, 10 plus, I think Swarmhouse would be okay. But, Kane, you're actually a pretty big Swarmhouse guy yourself.
Sure.
What are your favorite ways to actually see these get used against mech?
To be honest, like, once there's 2 ways of doing it. You can get, like, 16, and then do a bunch of tech switches while keeping them alive and just, like, try and find openings with them. Or you can just like do a mass siege with a bunch of Spore Crawlers and Vipers, which is what I prefer.
So the Hellions ran right up to the Swarmers. I think if they didn't take time to transform, they may have actually been able to kill them. Really late response out of True, but at this point his supplies is non-existent. The Vikings have killed all the Overlords. We made that joke earlier, but I wasn't kidding about it. Down to 70 supply cap. The Vikings are going to make sure that True can't build another unit this game.
Yeah, this is looking pretty rough for True here.
I mean, this got messy from a long time ago. That first attack just did so much more than it should have.
It kind of just felt like Gumiho toying around a little bit with his food here. But I mean, if you're saying that he does this push frequently, then I don't know.
Not this specific push.
No, I've never seen this specific push at all.
Okay.
I mean, the first attack too was a little bit, with those Hellions slipping by, something I don't think ever should have really happened.
It's like more like oddly timed ones, like where you know he probably knows / thinks that he has an opportunity, and he's like, let me just push it